So as far as the Patriot movement, and that's what LWN is, we are part of many patriots out there searching for the truth and delivering the news like it should be delivered. All right. Well, good evening. Good evening. I think I just pushed my bandwidth to its absolute max, and I don't know. Maybe you guys can give me some feedback on the intro. Did the intro skip and buffer really bad? Can you guys give me some feedback? I think I'm gonna have to go down and get a mobile hotspot. I'm using the hotspot on my phone right now, but I couldn't see the intro playing or anything. It was buffering really bad on my end, and I just want to get some feedback really quick before we get started tonight. But anyway, today is Tuesday, August. Not August. Is it August? Yeah, it's August. It's August the 2nd, 2021, 2022. Boy, I'm having a hard time tonight. That's for sure. All right. Let's see. 5x5. Sound good to me. Intro was short. Yeah, it's definitely shorter now. I just wanted to make sure that the intro was good here. Okay, intro played fine. All right, awesome. So my bandwidth was just stretched a little tight here in the studio, so I'm glad that it all played well for you guys. All right, so I have a great show planned for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about Black Swan, nukes, Red Dawn, and scary events. So welcome to the show tonight. I have a special guest with me, a man who really doesn't need much of an introduction. He's been on the show many, many times. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring in John Estabrooks with me this evening. John, how are you doing?
I'm doing great as long as you can hear me, brother.
Yeah, no, we're plagued with technical difficulties tonight, so hopefully everything will go well, and we can have a smooth operating show here tonight and get the message out, the point across, and move on with tomorrow. But I'm definitely going to have to do something about my internet. I had really good internet at my other place, but being in the RV now, it's not so good. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments on that. So, John, tonight's topics: Black Swan, nukes, Red Dawn, and scary events. Plus, you've been digging up a little bit of information on two drinks in Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Why don't we start off with Nancy and then we'll move on? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, she just passed $52 billion of semiconductor legislation. And she's been, South Korea. And the largest semiconductor builder in South Korea is Samsung. And she had a visit with Samsung. Then she went into Singapore. And Singapore has multiple semiconductor builders there. And one of them is partnered with, and the reason the Taiwan Semi Manufacturing Company, TSMC, is already has a location in California, but is going to build a $12 billion place in Arizona. They will also have a place, and they're looking at a place for Austin, Texas, and then San Jose, California. Where's Nancy from?
She's from California for sure. And everybody's saying you're chopping up real bad again, John. We and your signal's really weak. We just had a 20-minute conversation and I had no problems with sound. And then once we go live, I start having all kinds of sound problems. So I don't know if it's my end, your end, but I'm definitely going to have to check into getting some better internet, at least for my bandwidth here. But for some reason, you're kind of choppy and spotty. And so what John just said, folks, was she went to Taiwan to talk about semiconductors and semiconductors for Samsung. And it just so happens that those things are also linked to California. And where is she out of? Well, she's out of California. So John's basically connecting the dots for you guys. You still there, John? You there, John? Oh, this happened the last time John was on. He got a little frustrated because he wants to give you guys good information and put the message out there, and it just with his service. And it's weird because when we go on Podbean, we don't have any problems. As soon as we jump on there, it's definitely a plague that we have. But anyway, I just want to welcome all you guys. For those of you who are just jumping in with us, I got John Estabrooks with me tonight. We're talking about Nancy Pelosi, Taiwan. We're going to talk about Black Swan, nukes, Red Dawn, and scare events. Can you hear me there, John? Uh-oh. Sounds like I lost him. Yeah, I can hear you.
I'll tell you, I was trying to switch between the Bluetooth earpods. So you don't have me now?
I can barely hear you, John. I can barely hear you.
Yeah, this is terrible. And
we're having.
I had 5 everything. I bought the signal, and then as soon as we go live, I start seeing the dots.
All right, folks. We'll see if John can make it back in. So, Nancy Pelosi, and we were watching her live this morning as the plane landed. I know some people, everybody's got their own opinion. Is it CGI? Is it Hollywood? Is it staged? Did she really land in Taiwan? Is she really there? I'm going to go ahead and lean on the side of I believe she really went there. I believe she's really in Taiwan right now. China's not real happy about it. They've been putting out threats. We know that South Korea is also putting out, I believe John said that they've been running some tests today with some of their arsenal. So it just kind of seems like to me that certain players of the world are starting to kind of posture a little bit. I reported this morning on Headline Hits that Putin put out there that America is the #1 threat to the security of Russia. And so, we know that Russia and China both had troops on the ground somewhere in South America doing drills. Can this lead to a Red Dawn? For some of us my age, around 47 years old, if you remember back in the 80s, Patrick Swayze, they came out with the movie Red Dawn where Russia and Cuba actually invaded America. And I don't know. Is that possible nowadays? I would think it would be the worst decision they ever made, but very well could be something to be concerned about. I hear you now, John. Go ahead.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello. Oh, wow. Well, see, I didn't get to hear anything. I got and came back in, so it shows I've got some good now. So where we were at in the conversation, I guess Nancy's always been a bad person, and she's a corrupt criminal politician, and, and she's making a play. When you give an industry $52 billion, and then all of a sudden you go to all of the nations that have the largest semiconductor businesses that are going to locate to the United States and partner up in the United States, I'm certain there would be some profitability for Nancy and Paulie P.
I lost him again, and I don't know what's going on. I apologize, folks, for tonight. It's just seems like every time I move around, I have to try to figure out what's going to best work for us. As long as you guys can hear me 5x5, I'm having a hard time hearing John as well. And when I can't hear John, then I know you guys can't hear John. So anyway, back to the Red Dawn scenario, back to what China is threatening, um, South Korea, North Korea, whichever one it is, Kim Young John, or whatever his last name is, as he's out, like I said, stretching his legs, so to speak, and Russia making they Putin actually signed a document stating that America is a threat to their national security, meaning waterways. And so they have, and I reported today, it's in Breitbart if you guys want to check it out. They have ballistic missiles. They're actually, from what the article said, they're actually ahead of the game when it comes to ballistic missile technology. I believe Steven said this morning if they shot a ballistic missile off in New York, it could hit LA in 75 seconds. The article also said that the technology that Russians have, and I'm not trying to scare you guys, I'm just giving you information, okay? I'm just giving you information. Their technology that they have with the ballistic missile program, there's nobody out there that can match it. They said that if they were to fire ballistic missiles at the United States, that the United States um, does not have the capability to defend that. And then they claim that if America was to fire on Russia, they do have the capability to defend their sovereign state. So just some things that I wanted to talk about tonight to bring to your guys' attention. Um, is there a Red Dawn scenario in all of this? Is this something that could happen? I know a lot of us believe that the white hats are in charge and there are things happening behind the scenes. You know, John said this morning on our pod bean that America has a military that's unmatched, and I agree with that statement. I believe that America has a military completely unmatched. Plus, we have a citizen army, if you want to call it that. That if somebody was to say come across our borders, not only are they going to have to fight the U.S. military, but they're going to have to fight the U.S. citizen. So I'm not in any way really concerned about them putting boots on the ground here in America, but I guess I would be concerned um, with a threat from rockets, right? Anything that they can fire either from a sub or from a cargo ship or from any naval vessel, anything that's long range that they can fire off of a shoreline somewhere. Not only think about Russia, they are actually right up there in Alaska, and in the wintertime when the ocean freezes over, I mean, you could almost throw a stone across that waterway there and hit Russia. So the capabilities of some of that stuff, I believe, are there. That doesn't mean that they're going to use it, but a Red Dawn scenario is always in the back of many people's minds. And then you throw in the word nuke, and Putin has used that term recently, many times, actually, probably at least almost a half a dozen times that I can count. He's talked about nukes when it comes to NATO. He's talked about nukes when it comes to us. NATO is now pushing into the Ukraine. John talked about that this morning. So, you know, um, that's just some of the stuff that I'm seeing out there right now circulating and stuff that I'm paying attention to. And John, he's got his eye on Nancy Pelosi. And then we'll jump into Black Swan, what a Black Swan event is. And is this the scare event that everybody's been waiting for? John, your thoughts? Can't hear you, brother. No volume. Oh, John's trying, guys. He's trying hard. He's trying hard. We'll give him a few more minutes. He'll get it figured out. Um, so yeah, we're gonna talk about what a Black Swan event is. And again, this isn't to scare you guys. This is just stuff that I'm seeing happening, circulating in the news and the things that are going on. Um, a Black Swan event, just so you guys all know, we've actually made it through several of them. Okay. So even when people are using the term Black Swan and they're saying, well, Black Swan event could happen at any time, I just want to let you guys know there has been several Black Swan events that we've all already lived through. So it's a term that they use, and I'll let John explain that to you guys if we can get his audio video figured out here. Are you there, John? Nope, he's froze up. He's in the red tonight for some reason, and it always seems to happen in the evening time with John. If we had this show at 10 o'clock in the morning, yeah, read lips. If we had this show at 10 o'clock in the morning, you probably wouldn't have a problem. So um, I'd like to get some of your guys' thought out of chat. I'm going to be kind of paying attention to that a little bit. Don't forget, there was a Q drop that went out. Let me read that to you guys real quick. John sent it to me this morning. So check this out. I want to share this with you guys. Let me bring him back in. You there, John? Still can't hear you, brother. No sound. No sound whatsoever. Right. I got my other screen set up, so this is cool. So check this out. So this is Q Drop 38. This is from November the 2nd, 2017. 4 cruisers and escorts in the Pacific. Is that going on right now? Can anybody tell me if there are 4 carriers, 4 carriers and an escort in the Pacific Ocean right now? Can you guys tell me if that's something that you know about? Because I was told about a week ago when 2 drinks in Pelosi had decided that to make this trip to Taiwan. I believe there was part of a fleet that actually left Pearl Harbor and headed that direction over there in the Pacific Ocean. Somebody says, yes, Mike, there is. Okay, so this Q drop from November 2nd, 2017. Is that something? I see a lot of yeses in chat. Kind of strange, right? Okay, so to prevent other state actors from attempting to harm us during this transition, what does it say right there? Russia/China question mark. Is that a possibility right now with what we're seeing with Russia and China going on? They seem to be partnering up. Could this be part of the Q drop? Put a 1 in chat if you guys believe that this is part of the Q drop. Why is this relevant? That's a good question. Why is this relevant? What is getting ready to happen that these guys would want to do harm to us? So now we seem to be posturing up. A lot of 1s in chat. We seem to be posturing a little bit and kind of pumping our feathers up, putting that out there. So, or conversely, all of the NK or all 3. So, I don't know exactly what that means. Like I said, this was sent to me this morning, so I found it very interesting that everything that we see going on right now kind of ties to this Q drop from 2017. Do I believe in these Q drops? I've never really honestly given much thought to them. I found them very interesting when people would show them and they would tie certain things to the events that happened to be going on right at that time. I kept kind of scratching my head thinking, well, one, two of them may be coincidental, but after you have multiple drops, it can't be a coincidence anymore, right? So let's read the next line. Think logically about the timing of everything happening. And so I read that this morning and I started thinking about that. It is kind of strange, the timing that all of this is happening. X22 explained it, Mike. Yeah, I used to watch X22. I haven't had time to keep up with it much anymore. Um, but I just is it coincidental? Let's read the next line. It says, "Note increased military movement." Okay, now I can speak on that, right? Let me speak on that. So I was sent a text this morning that said 564 planes over the US. It has been as high as 599. Okay, now for those of us who enjoy watching Monkey, um, for those of us who watch Monkey and enjoy watching him, he keeps an eye on the air traffic across America. Now, I believe that there has been military assets moved all over this country for quite a while, for months, months and months and months. Military assets have been moved all over this country. So let me tell you this. I had a word the other day, phone call, and they explained to me that they ran into, and I already told some of you this story, but I'm going to tell it again. So they ran into a jarhead Marine who just got out of the service recently. I would say within probably the last year, maybe even the last 6 months, and they started asking him questions. Are there strange things happening in the military? Strange things happening in America? And of course, they said yes. Um, and so they continued to ask questions, and they asked, what's some of the things that you've seen going on?" And one of the things that this personnel said was that there was military assets that have been strategically placed all across America. So now I don't always just believe one source, but I believe that there's multiple sources that can confirm this. And just the mere fact that they've positioned these things across America just leads me to believe, is there something about to happen? Now, of course, critics can always say, "Oh, they move military assets around all the time." Yes, they do. Very aware of that. And actually, this time of year is the biggest time that they move those assets around. They do a lot of summer training. I've got friends in the military. They've gone through, especially the National Guard goes through a lot of their training in the summertime. It's usually 2 weeks of training. They play war games. They move equipment back and forth on rail cars. All kinds of stuff. Convoys you see going down the road. But I don't believe that that's what's going on right now. I don't believe that that's what's been going on for months. I believe that they have put military in strategic positions so that when this shift is ready to really make the big shift, I think they'll be capable of putting out fires, so to speak. I mean, just think of the summer of 2020 and how that got out of hand, and they didn't really do anything about it. They just let things go on and on and on. So I believe that yes. Note increased military movement. Note NG deploys deployments starting tomorrow. Now, I'm not sure what that all means. Note false flag. Um, Follow Huma. Now I haven't followed that, so I'm not sure what that is totally um, talking about. Prepare messages uh, for reassurance based on what was dropped here to spread on all different platforms. So the last word is the calm before the storm. Now, we've heard that lots of times. The calm before the storm, here it comes. When is the storm going to actually appear? So, anyway, that Q drop that was sent to me this morning, I thought was pretty interesting. Had some data points in it, um, and just stuff that a lot of people, Hillary Clinton going down. So I'm sorry that John can't make it tonight. I don't know what's going on with his service there, but mine I think is stretched to the limit. So we'll just have to roll with what we've got tonight. So um, Black Swan. So I said that we talk about Black Swan. So these are events, um, next Durham indictments. Yeah. I believe the next Durham indictments are coming right around the corner. But what's the Swan event gonna be? What are they talking about? Black Swan. Is it going to be these countries posturing? Is it going to be, in my opinion, what about a market crash? Now that would be a black swan event, right? We've been through crashes before. I believe a black swan event definitely is going to be tied to economics. So we're talking about central banks in Ireland and actually here in America and all around the world. I've seen quite a bit of it. They're really trying to push hard to go to a paperless currency society. They want everything digital, the Great Reset. We've been talking about it for quite a while. Call it whatever you want. Nasara Jasara, gold back system, Trump Zara. Is that going to be the Black Swan event? Is that going to be something that triggers all of this stuff? And I can tell you there has to be a reset on something because we can't continue to do what we're doing right now. It just doesn't make sense any longer. And I think we're just about there. And I keep saying that every time I come on here and everything just I mean, just the mere fact that Nancy heads to Taiwan, even though Biden didn't want her to go, even though China says you better not come, and she still goes. I don't think things could get any crazier. At least I've said that. I don't know how many times. I don't think anything could get any crazier than what it is today. And next week there'll be something crazier. So it's just hard to say what to even know what these guys are even doing anymore. My biggest thing that I pay attention to, and I've told you guys this before, is I pay attention to what his body language says to me. Here we are on the verge of China maybe pulling the trigger on something, maybe Korea pulling the trigger on something, maybe Russia pulling the trigger on something, and Trump's out playing golf. I just want to bring that to your guys' attention because I believe, well, for one, even previous presidents still get certain security briefings, right? I know that to be a fact. Now, do they get the briefing that a president would get? I don't know if they would get that, but all the past presidents that we've had all get certain briefings, security briefings, especially if countries are making threats against us, like a nuke attack or anything like that. They're going to be receiving certain briefings. Now, I believe that T is definitely getting those briefings. And I believe that if there was anything there for him to really worry about, wouldn't he be out there saying something about it? I mean, I know he can't just go out there and grab a microphone and a camera and blurt out a bunch of stuff, but wouldn't he be maybe a little bit I wouldn't say nervous, but a little more concerned instead of out there shooting golf? Paula from Facebook, Paula Billings, has a good question here. I know you guys can't see it, but she says, my question is all of this just to simply keep us calm while like minds install the NWO? I think that's a very valid question. You know, months and months ago, I made comment about that, Paula. I actually said, what if this is a psyop to keep all of us patriots believing that we should sit back and eat popcorn and watch the show, and while that's happening, while we're doing that, there's things going on that we're just allowing to happen. So yes, I did run that scenario through my head, to be honest with you. I just sat there and thought, geez, here we are all sitting in front of a TV screen each and every night, and all these influencers out there are talking about, I won't even get into some of the topics. Some topics that I don't agree with, topics that I don't align with. And I thought, man, what a perfect distraction to keep patriots sitting on their couch and glued to the TV while they're out running around doing things that we're not paying attention to. So, B cats, your B cats. My face is red because the lighting in here is absolutely horrible. I'm in an RV. This is as good as it's gonna get. All right, I'm in my parents' camp trailer. So, back to your point, Paula. That scenario ran through my head, but I'm having a hard time staying with that one because so many people are awake, and there are so many people out there like Mike Lindell pushing hard, and Trump himself out there pushing hard. I just I just don't see that type of psyop really paying off for in their favor. I really don't. Matter of fact, from what I'm seeing right now, it seems like the left is on the run. They're on the ropes. They're struggling at times just to put sentences together. They're struggling. They lost the battle that happened in the Supreme Court. I can't say what that battle is because YouTube yanked us down. So could Trump golfer be a double? Well, Donna from Facebook, I saw a photo of him today. He definitely put on a few pounds. At least whoever was in that photo seemed like he had put on a few pounds. I don't know if Trump has been eating very well or what's going on, but Mr. T is as cool as a cucumber. He knows what's going on. I believe it is a sting operation. He's been putting out um, clues. I think that's what it was. I lost it. I lost it. There it is. Nope, lost it again. Um, I don't know. I believe Mr. T definitely knows what's going on. Golfing T is too short and his jaw all wrong. So it seems like a lot of you guys are really paying attention to the guy in the photos. So I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to those photos of Mr. T. I pay attention to the photos of you know who. Let's go, Brandon. Those are the photos I'm paying attention to. I'm paying attention to the photos of the drinker of the house. So I'm watching stuff like that. I don't really pay attention to T. To me, it doesn't really matter if that's him or not him out there golfing. So I don't know what that would really change in my thought process if it was him out there or wasn't him out there on the golf course. So I know some people say at some of his rallies it's not him. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel the energy when he's at the rallies. I don't think I would feel that if it was a substitute, so to speak. So conservative cowboy puts out an alert. Trudeau or Trudeau Dixon will win the GOP primary and face Governor Gretchen Whitmer in November, Michigan governor. So we need to get her out of there. That's somebody that needs to be replaced in Michigan for sure. Yeah, good point, Nancy. That was brought to my attention as well. So Mr. T does wear body armor under his clothing. It's good that you actually brought that up because I was looking at him at one of the rallies. I think Tammy was on with me, and I said, "Man, look at Mr. T. Doesn't he look like he's got a little funny shape to his body?" And she goes, "Well, he is wearing body armor." I didn't even think about that. So thanks for bringing that up, Nancy. I appreciate that. Rose Rivers from Facebook says does not even sound like him. I haven't listened to all the speeches that he's put out, so that very well could be. Very well could be. Sherry from Facebook says that's fact. Whitmer needs to go. I couldn't agree with you more. There's a lot of them on ballot this midterm that we all need to show up. Don't get distracted and lose faith, okay? I want to be clear about this. Denise and I had a really good conversation the other day about the machines. Okay, I'm not going to say the name of the machines. You guys should know the machines I'm talking about. I know Mike Lindell, Wolverines, absolutely. Mike Lindell has really been working hard. Um, Dan Scavino put out club in his photos. You got to pay attention to Dan Scavino. I'm telling you right now. So Denise and I had the conversation about the machines, and Lindell's been working really hard. And I think the last time I heard him say, I think they accomplished getting rid of about 10% of those. Now, I don't know if that was 10% in one state, if that was 10% in swing states, or if that was 10% nationwide. I think any percentage is still a step in the right direction, right? Now, I know a lot of people believe if we don't have all those machines gone by November of 2022, it ain't going to matter if you vote or not. I totally disagree with that. I don't want any of you guys to get discouraged about voting in November because regardless of those machines are there or not, we still need to show up. If you guys stay home and don't show up in November, you're giving the other team a W without them having to work at it. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Even if they had to cheat, if we all show up like we're supposed to, they're going to have to cheat on such a high level to break that algorithm. I just reported the other day that the GOP or the Republican National Committee has already passed milestones on what's going to happen in November 2022. They've got what is it, 32,000 new poll watchers. They've got people in place for all this stuff that's happening. So I want to encourage you guys, don't lose the faith because don't hand these guys an easy win. Okay. We have to show up and we have to be counted. We have to be present. So I just want you guys to realize that yes, there's still a long way to go, but there's still 99 days before the midterm. So there's a lot of time left in the game to make some changes. Is it going to be a perfect system in 99 days? No, it's not going to be a perfect system. Nothing is ever going to be a perfect system. So thank you, Rhonda, for the coffee she bought. And her message is love my LWN family. So thank you, Rhonda, for that coffee. I appreciate it. And that is for you guys. The message is to you guys listening right now and everybody in chat. Love my LWN family. So thank you, Rhonda, for that. Appreciate it. So no matter what happens, folks, we're gonna see this through. We're not throwing the towel in. We're not quitting. We're going to stay the course. Now, I had David Jose on just a couple weeks ago, and remember what he told us. Their whole game plan. Listen, the left, the cabal, the black hats. Think about this for just 1 second. Those three names that I just mentioned: George Soros, Bill Gates, they're all in it for the long game. What does that mean? Well, they'll plan stuff out for decades and decades to reach their goal. I give you a prime example. Obama comes in. He comes in for 8 years. He started really destroying this country. The mop up was supposed to be Hillary, right? She was supposed to come in. She was supposed to get another 8 years, and then we'd be a communist country right now. We'd pretty much be a communist country. But we all showed up in 2016 and we ruined their plans. We brought in a businessman to be president of the United States, and that really screwed up their whole plan. But what I'm trying to explain to you guys is they were willing to spend 16 years to try to destroy America, and it was actually a lot longer than that. Communism came into this country way back in the 30s. Really reared its ugly head in the 50s. So they've been going on for 70 plus years. Now, some of us have only been in the fight, like myself, for a little over a year. Some of you guys have been in this fight for 2 years. Some of you guys have been in this fight for 30 plus years. My point is some of us that have only been in the game for a little while cannot expect immediate results. We got to stay the course. We also have to play the long game. Speaking of Trump and playing golf, you can't go out and win a golf first hole. It's the long game. You got to stay in it the entire course, right? You got to go 18 holes. Some holes you're going to win, some holes you're going to lose. So for us who've only been in this game for a short time and said, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm sick of this. I'm tired of hearing this. I just wish it'd hurry up, be over with." Man, I know that there are people in this chat like John Esterbrook's, Pappy Two Bear, Kathy H. I don't know. I could probably name off at least a dozen of you guys that are in the chat that have been in this game a heck of a lot longer than 2 years. I know John has been in it for 30 plus years, and he's in it for the long game, folks. He's in it till the end. So don't get discouraged. Don't let doubt creep into your mind and say, well, it's not going our way. It's not going to happen. This is all conspiracy theory. And you might as well just round all these people up and put them in jail, because come knock on my door. I'll greet you, with S&W, and I'll go out in a blaze of glory, whatever it takes. But I'm not quitting. I'm not going to be intimidated. People make fun of me all the time. I could care less, honestly, because I know what I'm doing to try to unite this country and to wake America up is far more important than anybody putting lipstick and eyeliner on me. I could care less. I was called gorgeous the other day. Oh, that's an inside joke with Tammy and Denise. So why not, right? Why not put some lipstick on me? Maybe I'd look a little better. So I see a lot of people saying 16 years, 12 years. I'm with you, LWN. We're in this. We're in this to the very, very end, guys. The very end. And I think that once we reach that finish line, I believe America, I believe your guys' lives, I believe lives around this world are going to be better off for the sacrifices that that we've made. This is a sacrifice for a lot of us. I've given up $100,000+ a year, $100,000 a year job to do what I'm doing right now. Some of you guys are sacrificing. A lot of the people on LWN donate their time. You guys sacrifice by putting my ugly face out there as often as you possibly can by liking, subscribing, sharing this out. You guys have really helped build this channel, and I appreciate that. Facebook, I think, is now over 8,200 subscribers on Facebook. You guys, I can't even hardly go on Facebook without seeing one of our videos. So thank you so much for sharing that out. YouTube, on the big channel, it's still growing, even though we're a week out, which I think we're back tomorrow on the big channel. But we're getting well, we're over 18,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that's because you guys. Truth Social, another one. We're over 2,000 subscribers on Truth Social now. Rumble, we're over 1,300 on Rumble. So that is what you guys have helped do. You guys have put that out there. You guys have shared it. You guys have told people, hey, check this channel out. So I truly appreciate the sacrifices that you guys are making being here for 1 hour every night with me. Let's get back into, Susan Schneider. Great friend on Facebook, constantly sharing all the time. I appreciate that, Susan. Appreciate that. Hold on a second. I caught another one there. Um, Patriot Starfighter, I appreciate this. She says I promote Mike LWN as the evening news show when all the movie is over. Yeah, um, it's definitely something else. That's for sure. It has all kinds of twists and turns, and you couldn't write a script like this. Freedom Suzanne from Facebook. Good to see you from Oregon. A lot of new faces in chat, a lot of new people, a lot of old people that have been here for a very long time. Some of you guys have been with us since the very first time. Mary Luck says 32 years for me. See, a lot of people. Jana says LWN is the news. A lot of people have been in this fight for decades, folks. So for those of us who've only been in it for a very short time, don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Don't give in. Stay positive, because with our positivity and our energy that we put out there, it helps encourage other people to get on board with us, right? If we were all a bunch of doubters and we were all a bunch of naysayers and just negative all the time, who wants to join? Who wants to join something like that? I just don't believe that that's anything I want to be part of. uh, all right, folks. I'm checking chat out now. If you guys got a question or a comment or something you want to throw in chat, I'll pick that up. Sorry about John this evening. I know he was frustrated too. For some reason, we have great conversation until I hit that live button, and then it all crashes. So I have no idea what's going on with that, but we'll get it fixed. Um, Geronimo Cat, appreciate that. Mike will be one of our mainstream reporters. Well, that is the goal. Just so you guys know, when we go to Missouri here at the end of the month, we're what, T minus T minus 18 days. T minus 18 days. We are headed to Missouri to the Truth Summit. So I am excited to get there. I'm excited to meet so many of those influencers and Mike Lindell. I'm excited to be able to report you guys what's going on at that Truth Summit, and what goes on after that Truth Summit. Like I said, guys, this is going to be one of the places that they're going to be sending us information even after the Truth Summit, and we're going to be able to put that out to you guys. So what do I think about Phil Godletsky? Well, I think everybody plays a part. Phil's got his place. Phil does what Phil does, and the information that he puts out, I know a lot of people enjoy it. It's not my place to say whether what he puts out is the truth or not. I have no idea. I don't keep up with Phil, to be honest with you. Now I know some of the stuff that he puts out. I hear some of the same stuff, so I find that interesting. Some of the stuff that he's put out, even recently, I caught wind of it right before he went live. So I don't know. Um, there's a lot of truthers out there, a lot of people out there that really work hard. Some of my favorites, just so you know, is I like the twins. I like Diamond and Silk. Stu Peters is another great David Harris Jr. I believe that some of those I may be meeting when we go to the Truth Summit. I really hope that they've been invited. So we'll see what happens, right? We'll definitely see what happens. All right, the Black Swan. So the Black Swan, we've been through a couple of Black Swan events. I know I kind of already brushed on it just a minute ago, but the housing market crash, stock market crashes, those are all considered Black Swan events. Um, the sickness that happened in 2020, Black Swan event. So when you guys ask what is the Black Swan event, um, it's something that's pretty serious, pretty significant event that happens in history, in my opinion. So I'm just trying to catch up on chat here. Yeah, Awakened Trillium says I started 2 years ago, but yet I've been watching political events since Watergate. Yeah, I guess I could say that I'm with you there, Awakened. I've been very political, um, probably since I was in high school. Honestly, I've been in with this thing for a long time. But so let me tell you a little bit about my background and why I got into to doing what I'm doing now. So very political in high school, very vocal after high school. Definitely aligned as a conservative. I hated calling myself a Republican because um, I just don't align with Republicans. I align with conservatism. Unfortunately, when you go to the voter box, you have to kind of check Republican if you're a conservative, and I hate that. So I always paid attention to politics. Really got into it in 2000, and I knew that politicians were corrupt. I've known politicians were corrupt my entire life. I knew some of the stuff that backdoor deals and some of the things that were going on. Problem is, I didn't know how deep it was. I didn't know how corrupt it was until Trump kicked that hornet's nest. How many of you can say right now that you knew it was as corrupt as it is right now? Or how many of you would say if it wasn't for Trump, you'd probably still kind of be sticking your head in the sand and just going along to get along? I probably would have been one of those people if Trump hadn't done what he did. So when he kicked that hornet's nest and things went crazy, I really sat up and started really paying attention. And then I started doing some deep dives and I started really researching things and going deep into what's going on. And that's kind of how I got here. So when God asked me to get on the laptop and voice my opinion, put out the stuff that I learned, um, people started noticing, people started paying attention. And so that's what got me here today is I took a leap of faith and I jumped out there and said, all right, what I have to say is important. People need to hear it. And if my voice is heard, then I'm able to dig up information and share that with people like you. So I knew when you could no longer pray in school. Yeah, that was a big deal as well. Uh, Venice from Facebook, Venus. So true. Same here. Patty from Facebook says 911 scared me straight. Things didn't add up. President Bush is a traitor. I won't disagree with that. I won't disagree with that. Chrissy says you're a great man of God and faith. God bless you and your family. Thank you, Chrissy. Randy from Facebook says we're almost there. God will win. I totally agree with that, Randy. Amen. See, Patty Bowling says you give us a voice too, Mike. Yes, and I really try hard for that, guys. I really try to give you guys a voice because a lot of us aren't being heard. I would sit there and scream at the TV, but they can't hear me. So um, I find that very interesting. God has already won. That's 1977. Anna Banana. Good to see you back, Anna Banana. Been a while. Uh, Eliza Jane says, I was born into politics. Grandma did a speech at a dinner for President Truman. Spent my teens handing out pins, Combs and whatever at the polling places in town, went to the rallies, etc. in the 1970s and beyond. That's how long Eliza Jane has been in this game. That's truly amazing. You guys got some really great stories there. Mary Luck says, "Great Awakening." Yes, I believe we're experiencing the Great Awakening right now. Like I said, I was one that was woke up. I knew that things were bad. I just didn't realize how bad they truly were. So for all of us to start waking up and really paying attention, I think was a blessing from God, and that's what He wanted to happen, was for all of us to finally stand up and say, you know what, um, this ain't happening no more. This ain't happening no more. Let's see. Paula Billings from Facebook says, "Yes, sir. Hillary running woke me up completely to the pure evil in our country. Dad was former NSA before CIA. He was very anti-communism." Thanks for sharing that with us. Texas follows rule of law. That is Army Mom Heather C. Lori Comfrey says 3 years for me. So Lori's been in it for 3 years. SoCal Patriot says 2008 housing crash was mine. That was when she woke up. Nikki B says, "I will never go back to sleep. I can tell you that." And it's kind of like once you've seen something like that, you can't unsee it, right, folks? Right? Once you've seen it, you can't unseen it. CV Bluegrass Patriot says, "I left the Air Force One program when Bush Sr. took office. I could feel something wasn't good with him, evil." So a lot of you guys, Rose River says 2.5 years. Gerald Cummings says, just ran away from me. The awake were waiting for the sleepers. Good point, Gerald. Good point. So a lot of you that were already awake for many decades was waiting for the rest of us to really be woke up, right? Mark Stern says, "Woke up when Mr. T won." Kathy Johnson from Facebook says, 1960s for me. Dottie from Facebook says, "Been in this since the 1980s and communicated personally with many swampsters. Nothing surprises me." John Esterbrooks is back in the waiting room. I'm going to pull him out here in just a second. Patriot Girl says 2000 for me. Let's see if John's got some good service. You there, brother John? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was like you're cutting out on me. Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah, I can hear you. Rhonda McEnany says 2020 for me. So, you know, there's no shame in just getting woke up for some of us. Some of us it didn't happen until 2021, and some of us may be 2022. So, you know, at least now we're awake and we see what's going on, and now we know that we can make a difference, right, John?
Yes, sir, and that's key, because I've been in this really hardcore since 19, and I'm talking hardcore to where I was driven to action, and have been politically active, been trained as a political activist, and it means a lot to me because I see the things that have changed over my life and recognize exactly the mechanisms and the design, because communists took the 100-year plans, and this was always about driving America to a communist nation. Still is, and that's by design. You know, when you're talking Black Swan event, the most perfect Black Swan event that we could see, and you got to think about what you're seeing in
lamestream fake news right now. Nancy Taiwan, Nancy Taiwan, China, Russia. And China tomorrow lights a single fire and says we will not ship a single container to the United States of America, and they kill our supply chain. There is your black swan.
Yeah.
No nuke.
Yeah, we talked.
Need a nuke.
We talked about that just the other day. Let me comment on that for just a second, John, because I brought
economic collapses.
I brought that to people's attention. So I know that we talked about the Red Dawn event and nukes, but Nancy going to Taiwan, pissing China off. I said that this morning on Podbean, and China turns around and says, all right, we're just going to stop shipping anything to you guys. You go to any store in America and start pulling items off the shelf and start seeing how many of them are made in China. If they stop shipping everything to us, it would cause some economic disaster here in America. And like John says, then a nuke's not even required to be fired. You there, John? Uh-oh, we lost him again.
Yeah. That's key because that's
there.
You know, it has to be something. No, sure. Russia threatens nukes, and you know that could happen, but I just don't believe that. God, no.
Hey, we get an A for effort tonight, John. We've definitely tried it.
A headset.
You gotta get you a headset, brother. You definitely got to get you a headset, and maybe that'll fix some of it. All right, folks. Well, that's I think that's a wrap for tonight. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and bust out of here. Mom's got tacos, and it is Tuesday, isn't it? It is Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. I know some people don't like being told when to make tacos, and so Taco Tuesday is usually not on their menu. But hey, I come home and Mom's got tacos ready. I can't turn that down. So Taco Tuesday today, folks, and I'm gonna go get me some of that. So listen, thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for the coffees tonight. Really appreciate it. And you know, continue to share this out, continue to share these shows out, continue to share this with your family and your friends, and tell them, hey, come check this out, because I'm telling you, man, once we get to the end of this month, this whole thing called LWN, this movement, this God-led movement, is going to completely turn upside down, and it's going to be truly an amazing ride. So we need to make sure that we can get as many people out there connected to LWN and all the other influencers out there that are going to be at this special event, the Truth Summit, August 20th and 21st, right there in Missouri. So I have another special announcement that I'm going to make Thursday night. Just kind of giving you guys a heads up. I'll put that in the newsletter if you guys want a little maybe hint, a sneak peek to what the announcement will be for Thursday on Ladies Night. You guys can sign up for our newsletter at libertywarriornation.com, and I'll put a little teaser in there before we go live on Thursday. So maybe you might figure out what the announcement will be, but I'm going to wait until Tammy invites me to come on the show Thursday night, and I'll make that announcement. I think you guys are going to really be pleased with the announcement that I'm going to make. Another heads up, just real quick, if we can go live tomorrow on the big channel, I may put something out in that newsletter and let you guys know, and we'll see. We might stay on this channel. We might hop back over there. I don't know. But I want to use the platforms that we have. So just giving you guys a heads up. If you want to check it out, go to libertywarriornation.com and you can sign up for that newsletter. All right. With that being said, you guys have a great evening. God bless. And I will catch you guys all tomorrow, Wednesday, August the 3rd, 2022. Love y'all. God bless.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. Can you tell me the secret of how you can take it or leave it? How you can blend in with the crowd? I'm so scared, so damn afraid to look. I'm so sick of talking. I'm wearing the words out, words out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. When it feels like everyone's out to get me, I see the river on the back of my eyes. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side.
fear and have